Gentlemen, what is good? Today's video is called Formal and Informal Support, the truth about being a man and having friends in today's world. So what does that mean today? I learned this term, formal and informal support, when I was working in foster care. And it's a really sad reality. Like, when children go into foster care, you have to deem the support to be either formal or informal, according to the Pennsylvania state laws. And what's the difference? Well, for example, if a child has a support that is informal, it's basically a mom or a dad who has a vested interest in taking care of this kid without having to actually be compensated to take care of this kid. Whereas if you have a formal support, right, it's like a foster parent, it's a therapist, it's a caseworker, it's any of these things. It could be a doctor, a lawyer, a kid's attorney advocate. All those are formal supports because they are paid they're paid by whoever it is, typically the state, right, or whatever company they work for, to work with the kid. So today I'm making a video called Formal and Informal Support, the truth about a man and having friends. And what I kind of want to hit home today for us guys is, and I've had good friends growing up. I think I've had maybe 3 really good friends in my lifetime, and one of which I only talk to every once in a while. The other one is a cousin of mine. And the other one is a godfather to my oldest son, who I talk to. And I moved out to Pittsburgh back in 2007 from Connecticut, where I'm originally from that part of the world in the Northeast. And to be honest with you, like, since I've been out here, my closest friends have been people that are formal supports that I've, as a man, had to actually make an initiative and a payment towards being their friend. And I'll get into what that means. Okay? I'll get into what that means. All right? As a child, we have friends, and we have best friends, and we love, as us guys, we love to talk about our best friends when we're kids, right? It's like, who can we trust? Who's in our circle? Who's in our inner circle? The only problem is as we grow older, we can only depend upon people in our inner circle who are competent. As men, we can only actually trust men that are competent enough to make themselves be successful enough to put themselves in an area of life where you and I want to be as men ourselves. And so what ends up happening is, you can't, as a man, if you're developing and growing, you're not going to be friends with somebody who is not developing and growing. And so you're going to want to be, moving forward, you're going to want to make friends with people in a more formal setting, meaning you're successful at your job, right? You pay to be a part of a community, which is what I do at my gym. And real quick, this is what I mean. At my gym, I pay $165 a month to be a part of a community of people that I go to, and that's my those guys are, and there's women that go there too, but those people are they're my friends, right? And I do that because I pay a price to go there. As a man, if I didn't do that, I would have nobody as my friend. Why? Because men find, and I think this is tied in today's day and age, where it's like men want to know that other men are competent, just like our old day and age where we used to go fucking hunting, gathering times where we had to go, hunt down a woolly mammoth. I'm not taking you with me to kill a woolly mammoth if you're not competent. Same thing today. As a man, you have to be able to pay a price to be a part of a community. And then when you're a part of that community, you bust your ass and you show those guys that you're able to kick ass. And I've done that at my gym. But as men today, and that's what the next part today is. The next part in this talk is, as men, we only have formal support, and it's true. Men today, we really only have formal support. There's no informal support. It's like your own family today, and I experienced this when I went through my divorce, and I went through being zeroed out at the seminary here in Pittsburgh. I tried so hard to plead with my family, and nobody gave a fuck. And they'll watch this video and go, "Oh, Frankie, we cared about you." You didn't give a fuck. You didn't. But I'm not mad at you for it. I love you. I'm not mad at you for it. But I understood that it was like I was just, it was, society cannot feel compassion for men, and the hard part of being a man is that nobody gives a shit about you, ultimately, unless you can find communities online that are formal supports where you can pay and they care about you. Okay, that's my point here. Informal support versus formal support. I think I touched on this already. The formal support is something you as a man, you pay for. A gym membership, an online membership, right? A therapist that you have to pay for. Those are three really good examples. Whereas informal support can be your family. And most of us today as men, we realize, especially if you're in the red pill community, that there's nobody in your family that understands life as you do. And so this whole idea of formal support, right, or informal support, excuse me, you don't even want it, because these people are going to give you support for free, but it's mostly really shitty advice. It's like your mom telling you just be yourself. It's like your brother saying, I love you, blah, 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 blah. It's like, and I love my brother. I love both my brothers, man. Those guys are good guys, and I take a bullet, maybe at least a bullet, but we'll see. So as a man, you have to pay the price to have quality friends. It's true. And I plan on doing this in my own personal life. All right. I plan on joining a community of men coming up real soon that I found online, because I can't find it in my own personal life. I deal with men in my day in and day out life. I have yet to find a red pill man, and it drives me nuts. So I'm just going to join a red pill community online coming up real soon. And guess what? I'm going to have to actually pay a physical amount of money to do so, which is perfectly fine. That's the way it needs to be. You as a man, you have to basically have formal forms of support, and that's very valuable for you as a man to understand. Okay, and that's all I'm saying. So yeah, if you have lifelong friends, I'm just reading my notes real quick. I think I kind of bounced all over the place, and I'm already up to almost 9 minutes. I kind of hit the gist of what I'm saying. But if you have lifelong friends, you are typically stuck. Oh, so if you have lifelong friends, and I've seen this from where I'm from in Connecticut, I've seen a lot of guys that have these lifelong friends and then feel stuck. If you have lifelong friends as men, you're not growing. Okay, because the chances are they're not growing unless they're growing with you, which is a very rare thing. But as a man, this idea that we're supposed to have friends doesn't exist. Have best friends? We can have best friends, but are these people that we have to cut off at some point? This is a reality for us. Is we have to know if these are people that we have to cut off. Could be lifelong best friend. It could be friends that you knew in middle school, high school. Could be your kid's, godfather, godmother, anything like that. you're gonna have to know at what point when to cut them off. Because if you want to exceed, most people are not understanding this. Okay, they're just not. So, yeah. So I'm getting to my last point here. If you are progressing, you have formal support based on your success. If you are progressing, you have formal support based on your success. So what do I mean by this? Is, like I said, I joined a gym. I pay $165 a month. It provides me with an outcome. I would not be friends with the owner. I would not be friends with the people that go there who pay that amount at the same time, unless it was a type of formal support that I paid. And that's been the most significant part of my life. You, as a man, cannot expect, and this is the part I'm trying to hit home here. You, as a man, cannot expect redundant, right? You, as a man, cannot expect to have a support system that is just naturally free-flowing, where your mom and dad loved you. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to create that support system. Whether you join an online community, whether you join a gym and an online community, a race car club, race car club. I don't know what those is, but like anything that is, something where you go and you engage in it, and it's something that you love to do. So as a man, your friends are going to be something that you have to pay for. That's my point. Okay. It's going to be something you have to pay for. Whether it's in proving competency, paying a financial initiation fee to get into, and then proving competency, which is what I did in my gym. Okay. I showed those guys over the last year that I can get in shape. And I'm good friends with the owners. I would not be good friends with these owners if I didn't pay the price of $165 a month to go to their gym. I wouldn't be friends with them. But that's the cost of being a man and paying the formal support. As a man, you can't expect people to just naturally love you. You have to perform. That's my point, right? As a man, you have to perform. Okay? And in doing so, just be ready to understand that these relationships that you do pay for are going to be the most rewarding for you, because those are men who are also doing it themselves, and they understand that competency is the most important thing as a man. And don't expect your mommy and your grandma and your daddy to love you and understand you and fix your problems. You're going to have to go out and seek how to solve your own issues. Okay? You're going to have to figure that out. So that's it. All right. Formal and informal support. The truth about being a man and having friends is you have to have formal support. Informal support, your family, they'll love you. But and as much as I do, you'll never be able to tell them anything. And they'll be the only ones who will ever love you without you ever having to pay a price tag. And guess what? When you do pay a price tag, those other guys, if you join a men's community, if you join a gym, they'll love you, man, in a different way, where you as a guy are qualifying as a man, saying, hey, I'm paying this price, I'm busting my ass, just like I did this year at my gym, where in the last year I've worked out 295 times in the last year, and I've gained respect at people at my gym 295 times since May, June 2020. What are we at? June 2021. So, and I do plan on joining one of these online communities. I'm not going to say who or where, but I will get there. I have exact one in mind that I want to join, and I want to learn how to become more financially successful at that point. So, all right, that's it, men. The difference between formal and informal support is you as men, you need to seek out the more formal, especially as you get older, because when you get older, nobody gives a shit, man. Later.